welcome back to All Things Online. This is episode number 8.
Yeah, episode number 8, and thank you for tuning in again this week.
We've gotten a lot of great feedback. Thank you. Keep it coming like always. Today we do actually have a special guest on our podcast. His name is Michael Martin, and he's the SEO director at Internet Marketing Inc.
Yeah, and on top of that, he's actually one of the most outspoken and famous people talking about Android in Android circles. He's always invited to conferences talking about Google and Android. So without further ado, we're going to invite him over to our set.
So one of our first questions today is a question that I get asked a lot about is about reciprocal linking. I know a lot of my clients, a lot of people just tend to ask me, why can't I just exchange a link with my partner over here, or my best friend, or somebody that's also in the industry? Yeah. Why is that not allowed?
Well, I mean, that's actually an outdated technique that's just been abused. Basically, you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. But over the years, there's been a lot of back scratching. So,
really? I like back scratching.
Different strokes, different folks. But Google kind of takes a bad eye to that. So, really, the way to do it is if you go to a reciprocal link, like anything in life, it's about moderation. So, linking within within your field is okay within certain limits. But just when you're linking out to Viagra sites or sites that are not really related, that kind of throws some cross-mogenation in there, and that kind of signals that these aren't really authentic links. Especially if there's a long list of reciprocal links you're going back to. Then it just raises red flags.
Basically, just keep it under control.
Right.
Oh.
Keep it in the family.
Keep it in the family. Okay,
We're
I
talking
like
about
that.
markets.
I have a question in particular about Bing. Bing.com, from what we understand, it's Microsoft's latest answer to try to tackle what Google is doing.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Friends.
No, not Chandler
okay.
Bing, although it is my all-time favorite TV
been a while.
show. Yeah. But, what's so great about Bing, and how is it different, from optimizing for Bing versus, optimizing for Google, which is the number one search engine?
Right. I wouldn't try to go around and optimize it for certain engines. Again, it's really what's really going on with regards to reciprocal link and paid linking and all the different techniques is really what the searches are doing is confining you to what's really important to their users, which is something interesting, something unique, something that gets to the point of what they're asking. And what's interesting with Bing is just the preliminary analysis, which is a little different than Google is. It seems like they're actually weighing outbound links more heavily than Google does, as opposed to Google weighs heavily the inbound links. So that's just an initial finding that I thought was interesting in regards to Bing as far as what they're ranking, along with the images and title tags are very important as well.
So do you think at the end of the day, is that going to be beneficial for consumers to be on Bing? I mean, let's say I'm Joe Schmo and I'm just an average website surfer, and I just want to go online and search and find relevant results. Is it going to be better if I go to Bing? Am I going to get more relevant search results, or is Google still the best answer?
Not to cop out, but it really depends. And what's interesting about Bing is that it is more of a consumer decision engine. So maybe it's instead of SEO, it's more DEO, I guess. So really for products, it's a place to go. But there's a caveat to that, and the fact of how in bed are these advertisers in Bing? They're showing some preference to these certain advertisers and people supplying products, which kind of goes against the search engine or even decision engine credo of not like leaning heavily toward one or the other. Then you lose the whole basis of that. You're just arbitrarily or just trying to pick the best results if you're kind of skewing to one or the other in some arrangement.
Well, there you have it from Mike Martin, answering questions about Bing. CC, any other question that comes to your mind that you think would be beneficial for our viewers on ATO?
Do you have a dog?
Yes, I do.
So I heard you guys went out this weekend.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I heard there was a little competition with the ladies and the phones.
Kelly and I have an iPhone.
Okay, well, basically, I heard that you guys went to the bars looking for the answer: Android or iPhone.
Oh, yeah, that is.
Yes, that's what the ladies were wondering.
Yeah, the ladies were wondering, what the heck is Android doing, and what is Android? So that's where mine came in.
Yeah, I mean, even in the beginning of the night, it's before the people had too many drinks, I was just trying to educate them, opening their minds, and then toward the end of the night, as they were inebriated, it doesn't take much brain cells to think about the iPhone, and those are generally the most ornery ones.
So what you're saying is
ornery.
iPhone users are simple-minded?
I did not say that, but I mean, if you want to share your feelings about that to the audience, then.
Well, something funny did happen actually that night that I have to admit to. We were ordering drinks, and just for the heck of it, I opened up one of my applications, and it's called 1,500 Drinks or something. And I told a lady who was serving drinks, I said, "Hey, could you make this drink?" And she looked at me and said, "Is this one of those stupid applications on your iPhone? Because I don't make drinks for that." And that's when Mike came in and started laughing and saying, "Ha ha ha." And I looked at him and I said, "Well, I've never seen an application like that on the Android, but I could be mistaken."
Right. I just know enough not to throw that phone in the bartender's face. So.
Yeah, that's a big
Good point.
So then it goes back to the question you asked about being simple-mindedness or not, and I'll leave the answer to that to the conclusion of what you stated.
That's Mike Martin for
Knowing
you.
enough not to put an iPhone in front of a bartender. Making some drink that's so obscure
that don't exist. Yeah.
I think it does exist.
It does exist in Sweden. But yeah, that was an interesting night.
Yeah, it was.
So, final verdict? What do you think?
BlackBerry?
Oh my God.
Sometimes it's not enough alcohol.
What? I'm not gonna lie. BlackBerry's really good at dialing, at purse dialing, pocket dialing. You know that well.
That's one of the top features. Top feature of the smartphone. You gotta make sure at least.
Pocket dialing?
No, to dial out calls, receiving calls. It's kind of lost on this whole smartphone debate is actually dialing and receiving calls.
Yeah, actually, Mike and I agree on one thing. Aside from Android and iPhone always pitting each other against one another, BlackBerry is a no game in this competition.
There's also something else we both agree on. Is
oh yes, that is
where's
true.
my vote?
Where's my vote? That is true.
Thanks. Well, like always, if you have any questions, feel free to email us at ato@internetmarketinginc.com, and we hope to hear some of your feedback and look forward to your emails. Thanks so much.
And where can your fans email you? Because there's a growing audience of people that
really?
contacting me to find out about you.
Oh, really? Well, my Twitter is CC Harkins. And like always, please feel free to email us at ato@internetmarketinginc.com with any questions or comments you might have for us.
Yeah. Thank you.